Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Let the air move through your body, steady and calm, carrying with it any tension, any tightness, any weight you've been holding on to. Right now, in this moment, you are allowed to be here. You are allowed to take up space. I know there is a part of you that believes saying no makes you a bad person, that setting a boundary, prioritizing yourself, or choosing rest means you are letting someone down, that if you do not say yes, if you do not show up, if you do not meet every need, you are somehow failing. But take another breath in, deeper this time, and as you breathe out, imagine releasing that thought. Just for a moment, loosen your grip on it. Let yourself ask, where did I learn this? Who told me that my worth is tied to my willingness to say yes? That love is something I must earn by sacrificing myself? That being good means being available, being accommodating, being everything to everyone, always? You have carried this belief for so long that it feels like truth. But what if it isn't? What if your goodness, your worth, your lovability have never been dependent on how much you give, how much you endure, how much you say yes? What if you were already enough even when you say no? Breathe in again, slowly, and as you exhale, imagine what it would feel like to believe that. To know deep in your bones that your kindness is not measured by self-sacrifice, that love is not something you prove by always being available, that saying no is not rejection, is not cruelty, is not failure. It is care. It is honesty. It is trust. Picture yourself standing in front of someone you love deeply, a younger sibling, a best friend, even your younger self. Imagine they come to you, exhausted, stretched too thin, their hands full of obligations they do not have the energy to meet. They look at you with tired eyes and say, I don't want to, but I feel like I have to. What would you say to them? Would you tell them that they should push through, that they should ignore their own needs to keep everyone else happy? Or would you take their hands, look them in the eyes and say, you don't have to do this. You are allowed to say no. You are not a bad person for choosing yourself. Now, turn those words back to yourself. Let them sink in. Let them land in the parts of you that still feel unworthy, the parts that are afraid of being abandoned, the parts that do not yet know that love is not something that has to be earned. Breathe in again, and as you exhale, let go of the guilt. Let go of the belief that your boundaries make you less kind, less worthy, less good. Every time you say yes out of guilt, out of fear, out of obligation, you are not giving freely. You are giving from a place of depletion, from a place of resentment, from a place of self-abandonment. And you do not deserve that. You deserve to give from a place of wholeness. You deserve relationships where your no is honored as much as your yes. You deserve to choose yourself without carrying the weight of shame. Imagine, just for a moment, what it would feel like to say no and trust that you are still loved. Imagine how light your body would feel without the pressure of always having to please, to perform, to be everything for everyone. The people who truly love you do not love you because of what you do for them. They love you because of who you are, and who you are is already enough. Now breathe in again and let yourself feel the resistance, that familiar tightness that rises when you think about saying no. The thoughts that rush in. What if they're disappointed? What if they get upset? What if they think I don't care? That fear is natural. You have spent so long making sure everyone else is comfortable that the idea of choosing yourself feels unnatural, uncomfortable, even wrong. But discomfort does not mean you are doing something bad. Sometimes, discomfort is a sign that you are doing something new, something necessary, something healing. And healing is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Now, I want you to imagine a time when you said yes, even when you didn't want to. A time when you pushed yourself past your own limits, when you ignored your exhaustion, when you silenced your own needs because you thought it was the right thing to do. How did you feel afterward? Did you feel fulfilled? Or did you feel drained, resentful, invisible? Now imagine what would have happened if you had said no instead. Maybe there would have been disappointment. Maybe someone wouldn't have understood. But what if that was okay? What if their reaction was not your responsibility? What if saying no did not mean you were selfish, but simply meant that you were honoring yourself? Breathe in again, deeply, and as you exhale, imagine filling the space that guilt used to take up with something softer, with trust, with grace, with the quiet knowing that you do not have to do everything to be worthy of love, that you do not have to be everything to be enough, that your no is just as valuable as your yes. Imagine yourself standing in your power, speaking your truth, trusting that the people who truly love you will not leave because you choose yourself, because you are allowed to have limits, because love is not something you prove. It is something you deserve simply by existing. Let yourself settle into this truth. Let it wash over you. Let it anchor itself in the parts of you that have spent years believing you must earn love, believing that your boundaries make you unkind, believing that saying no is something to be ashamed of. It is not. You are allowed to exist in a way that is sustainable, in a way that honors your energy, your needs, your peace. You do not have to spend your life proving yourself to be worthy of rest, worthy of care, worthy of love. You already are. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, soften. Soften into the truth that you are allowed to have limits, that you are allowed to choose yourself, that saying no does not make you bad. It makes you honest. It makes you whole. It makes you free. And if that freedom feels unfamiliar, if it feels strange, that is okay. You are learning a new way of being, a way that does not require you to shrink yourself to be loved, a way that does not demand that you abandon yourself to belong, a way that honors your whole self, not just the parts that give. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes. Carry this knowing with you. Carry it into your day, into your choices, into the moments when you feel pulled back into old patterns, into the moments when guilt tries to creep in. Remember that you are not here to live for others at the expense of yourself. You are not here to be exhausted, to be depleted, to be everything for everyone but yourself. You are here to be whole. You are here to be loved as you are, not for what you do. You are here to take up space, to rest, to honor yourself without shame, and you are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are good. You are worthy. You are loved. Even when you say no, especially when you say no,